Happy Wednesday. 3 more days left. Ooh, so sad, but so exciting. 3 more days of you're a pre-K'er, and then you will be a kindergartner. I'm going to read you a story, The Treasury of Classic Stories that I've been reading from. And look, the dog enjoyed it, I guess, while we were not looking. So silly, right? The story I'm going to read to you today is The Open Road. Ratty, said Mole suddenly, one bright summer morning, I want to ask you a favor. The rat was sitting on the river bank singing a little song. Why, certainly, he said. Well, what I wanted to ask you is, can we call on Mr. Toad? I've heard so much about him and would love to meet him. Get the boat out and we'll paddle up there at once, my friend. Toad is always in and will be delighted to meet you. Rat and Mole rounded a bend in the river and came in sight of a handsome old stone house. Well-kept lawns reached down to the water's edge. There's Toad Hall, said Ratty. Toad is rich and has the biggest house in these parts. They moored the boat in the boathouse and started to walk towards the Toad Hall. Hooray! Cried Toad as the three animals shook paws. The very fellas I wanted to see you. You've got to help me sort out something really important. It was about boating, I suppose, asked the rat innocently. Forget about boating, cried the toad. I've given that up long ago. Now I've discovered the real thing. Come with me and you will see. Wonder what it is. Can you see that? You can see the toad. And this is... Okay. Can't wait to find out. Whoops, sorry guys. He led the way to the stable yard, where in the open was a shiny new gypsy caravan painted green and canary yellow with red wheels. There, cried Toad, there's the real life, a home from home, traveling the open road without a care in the world. Here today, somewhere else tomorrow. My, the mole, very interested and excited, followed Toad up the steps and inside. Ratty remained where he was, pretending to be uninterested, hands thrust deep in his pockets. Inside the caravan were little sleeping bunks, a little table, a cooking stove, cupboards, bookshelves, and pictures of Toad on the walls. I've thought of everything, cried Toad. He pulled open a cupboard. Here's everything we could possibly want to eat. He threw open another cupboard. Here's all the clothes we could ever need. And spare pajamas, washing things, everything. We must stop this. We must start this very afternoon. So Toad, what's going on here, wants to live in a caravan, which kind of is like a camper, and he wants to live there. And just be somewhere today, somewhere tomorrow. That would be fun, right? I would miss my bed, but... I beg your pardon, said Rat's voice from inside, but did I hear you say something about we? Now, dear Ratty, said Toad, clampering down from the caravan. Don't get on your high horse. You've just got to come. I can't possibly manage without you. I'm not coming, and that's flat, said the rat. I am going to stick to my boats in my dear old river. And what's more, Mole is going to stick with me. Aren't you, Mole? Of course I am, said the mole loyally. All the same, He began hesitantly. It does sound as if it might have been fun. Fun, fun. I'll say it would be fun, said Toad, and he began to paint the joys of canvassing in such glowing colors that the mole could hardly stand still for excitement. Oh my! In no time at all, it seemed even the good natured rat had found himself interested in Toad's plans. When it was agreed, Toad led his friends to the paddock and asked them to capture the old workhorse. The horse hadn't been asked to drive the caravan and much preferred his paddock, so he made it difficult for Ratty and Mole to catch him. At last the horse was caught and harnessed, and so it was that they set off. That afternoon, after lunch, all three talking at once about what they would see on their travels. They all went together. They ambled along dusty roads and besides orchards, thick with cherry blossoms. Wow, guys, so I'm surprised that Mole and Rat went with Toad. Oh no. Each animal took its turns steering the caravan or walking either side of it. Tired and happy and miles from home, they stopped for the night to eat supper before turning in to their little bunks in the caravan. This is the life, said a sleepy Toad. Better than all your talk about your river, eh, Ratty? I don't talk about my river, replied the rat. You know I don't, Toad. But I think about it, he added quietly, all the time. The mole reached from under his blanket and gave Ratty's paw a squeeze. Dear Ratty, he whispered, should we run away tomorrow morning and go back to our dear old hole on the river? No, no, no. Well, see it out, whispered back the rat. We must stick by Toad until he's got over his caravanning craze. It won't take long, you'll see. Good night. The end was nearer than even the rat suspected. Uh-oh. The next morning, Mole turned the horse's head onto their first really wide main road. Toad and the rat were strolling behind when in the distance they heard a faint warning hum like the drone of a distant bee. An instant later, with a loud beep beep, a whirl of wind and a blast of sound, a huge motor car tore past them. Oh my goodness. So this was them sleeping in their bunks, their beds. And then this is them on the road. Oh boy. The old horse let out a whining of fear, reared and plunged and bucked, and despite all Mole's efforts to control him, drove the caravan backward into a ditch where it landed with a huge crash. Oh no! Ratty danced with rage. You villains, he shouted, shaking both fists. You scoundrels, you road hogs! I'll have the law on you. Oh, he was mad at the red car. Mole, after successfully calming the horse, looked down at the caravan. It was a sad sight. Panels and windows were smashed. The axles hopelessly bent, one wheel off, and cans of food scattered across the shoulder of the road. And Toad sat unmoving in the middle of the road, staring in the direction of the new disappeared car. Oh. Every now and then, only faintly, he murmured, beep, beep. The rat shook him by the shoulder. Come on, Toad, do get up. But he wouldn't move. Glorious, he murmured. The poetry, the motion, that's the real way to travel. Here today and the next week tomorrow. Oh, bliss, Oh, beep, beep. Oh, my. What are we? What are we to do with him? asked Mole. Old rats, Toad, said Ratty crossly. I'm done with him. I've seen it all before. He's off onto a new craze. He'll be in a dream for days. We'll just have to get him to his feet, then make our way to the nearest town and catch our train home. Oh, goshness. Did you like that? He went home. All right, friends, I will see you tomorrow. Miss you.